from literally the same company that brought you Totally Spies, brings you Martin Mystery, starring Martin, a guy that looks like he takes fashion advice from Guy Fieri, Diana, the one who's always being annoyed by Martin, and Java the caveman. Like a literal caveman.
Fine! You want fun? I'll show you fun. I'll prove to you just how fun I can be.
Diana, that's your brother. This doesn't look too good for you two. Imagine if Totally Spies had a parallel world where instead of Whoop and Super Spies, it was The Center and Paranormal Investigators. That's basically Martin Mystery in a nutshell. It follows the same general formula. Something bad happens, Martin and the gang are called to investigate, and they go on a one-shot adventure to solve the case.
The Center! Hurry up and open the door over there, Java!
Wait! You're telling me they don't randomly suck them up like the spies had to deal with? That takes away the comedy and makes it more mysterious, because it's like the show is starting off with a small contained investigation and establishes the tone of the show. Oh, that's the point. I will admit, this method is way cooler. They even have a mirror character for Jerry, except she's way cooler. And she's pure waifu material. And her name's Mom. Oh, she's the mystery organization manager. Mom.
Sure thing, Mom.
I think I even prefer The Center over Whoop. It's like if the Men in Black switched from aliens to cryptozoology. The show originally was a comic book under the same name created by Alfredo Castelli, or however my Italian fans say it's pronounced, because apparently I pronounce Italian names wrong all the time, and published by Bonelli Comics in 1978. Then eventually Dark Horse Comics got the rights to reprint the series. You see, Bonelli Comics focused on their business just after World War II, and Italian readers liked stories that were more of a magazine format with more pages and longer stories, which is why you'll only ever find Martin Mystery in this style. Now, the original story for Martin Mystery is shockingly different from the cartoon adaptation. Java doesn't actually talk, he just grunts. Martin is more of a suave, noir investigator. Diana is actually his fiancée. It's nothing like you'd imagine, and, well, it's from the late 70s, so, you know, what'd you expect? It mostly focuses on the lengthy process of a true investigation where they follow leads and interview people, eventually being betrayed or found by a secret organization. You know, typical investigator stuff. Also, the Center isn't really part of the story, and Diana never really does all that much.
The Scrolls of Agathar. Very rare and totally irreplaceable.
Mom is attempting to retrieve the scrolls using our new state-of-the-art xenon carbon laser.
Very cool!
Oh, you're bad.
It works. I mean, oops.
Martin Mystery!
I can't believe Martin hasn't been fired yet. I mean, this stuff happens like every episode. If I'm going to be honest, this show works better when it's primarily a comedy, which is funny because its setup would make you think it would work well for an actual action mystery series, but it really boils down to how the characters are constructed. When they put them in a more serious situation, like with the beginning of Season 2, when Billy was captured and Earth was on the verge of being destroyed, it just wasn't as captivating. I appreciate the writers trying to deliver on a more serious story, but it just felt wrong. And that's because it's hard to see Martin Mystery as a serious character. He's a fun character, and so the story needs to be primarily fun.
I'm gonna put this book back, and I'm not even gonna look where.
FBI, open up!
The mystery and the incorporation of different mythologies and monsters and alien paranoia keeps the interest of the viewer, and they tend to nail the cryptozoological aesthetic pretty well. Even if it's a stark departure from the comic, the adaptation is still great on its own. I'd even go so far as to say it's even better than the comic, just because the comic is drenched in the tropes and stereotypes of the late 70s. The cartoon feels more approachable. It focuses more on the fantasy and fun rather than the deep, dark mystery. You could argue that these two have different audiences, which you'd be correct, but looking at it objectively, the cartoon will age better since the character dynamics work better and it's enjoyable no matter what age you are. The comic feels like you have to be in your late 30s to really get a kick out of it. The truth is, nobody really knows why Martin Mystery only lasted 3 seasons, but my 2 brain cells tell me it's because of Totally Spies. Martin Mystery just couldn't compete with its popularity. I'd wager a guess that Martin Mystery was Marathon's attempt to make a show that appealed to boys so that they could sell more merchandise, but even the boys liked Totally Spies more.
Girls, how's the investigation going?
Good. We found some clues.
Cut to the chase. Jer, what do you know about the Center and Martin Mystery? We ran into him and he wants to team up.
The Center? Martin Mystery? Oh my! Oh my! Martin's boss Mom and I go way back!
Your mom is Martin's boss?
A mystery organization manager, MOM.
Teaming up is a fabulous idea, girls. His credentials are on par with yours.
Ouch! That one hurt.
Jerry and Mom dated. Holy crap on a cracker. And frankly, I binged all of Martin Mystery, and I was getting really tired of it. I couldn't understand why until I watched the crossover episode in Totally Spies, and I realized why. Color. Totally Spies is more vibrant, while Martin Mystery kept to the dark and dreary mystery aesthetic with lots of browns. And though it sounds too simple to be true, I could just feel the difference between these two shows, and if you put them side by side, I'd choose Totally Spies. Honestly, Martin Mystery is a great series to watch, but it's just not for everyone. The history behind it is interesting, but the existence of the comics is nothing more than just a fun fact, and there's not much else to really talk about it. I couldn't even recommend rebooting Martin Mystery just because I feel like the cartoon did everything right, and yet it still failed. But that's everything I have for this video. There's a button you can press if you liked the video, and commenting helps the algorithm, but sharing the video makes me the happiest. I also have a Patreon if you want me to buy more toys for videos. Stay beautiful, and keep playing.